are entering ENC's Pod of Awesomeness.
Tommy can fucking wait.
Well, that's a good start, Jay. That is a good way to start it. I like this. It's better than your silence. It's better than your grunting and your groaning.
What?
It's your true feelings about Tommy.
Oh, we're recording. We're on.
Yeah, we were recording. Yeah. That was the beginning right there,
Tommy
Jay.
is such a good friend of mine, and I just want to talk to him. I really hope his trip to Australia was a giant success. Gosh, I miss Tommy.
Gosh darn it.
Tommy.
Jay, guess what?
What?
Guess what, Bird?
What?
Once again, we've dipped into your TNA relationships, your TNA Rolodex, your cornucopia of TNA former names.
Uh-huh.
Your dance partners down there, and this week is your get.
It is my get. It's a very big get. Samoa Joe. So he has a huge match. He's stepping up large for WWE wrestling, taking on Brock Lesnar at the goodness gracious.
Easy for you to say. Okay, and before we go any further with how stoked I am for Joe versus Brock, I gotta mention again, this pay-per-view name is just brutal.
Yeah, it's tough to.
Come on. Yeah. It's a great song. I'm a fan. Yeah. I appreciate Jerry Lee Lewis, everything he did, dancing on piano, setting them on fire. He was a trendsetter. He was a groundbreaker. That song is from the 50s. I don't know if it needs to be the name of a pay-per-view.
That's a little dated. A little bit dated.
I picture just flaming testicles now when I hear that.
Fireballs on your head.
And then when you see the logo for it, it just looks like flaming testicles. Yeah. Although I do like the classic car stuff because it made me really miss my 69 Camaro, black silver stripes that I named Lurch.
But what does the old car look have to do with Great Balls of Fire?
Well, I think they're going for the whole 50s thing, would be my guess. So they're at least diving all the way in, as opposed to calling it a name, from the 1950s and then not doing drive-in theater stuff. So cool, whatever, I get it.
A drive-in theater would be much cooler if they had a bunch of cars pulling up to a drive-in and they did the whole promo on the drive-in screen. That'd be pretty cool.
I think that's what they did.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so.
No, they didn't.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Huh.
You just here. Okay, folks listening at home, in your cars, in your Winnebagos, in your tree houses, in your yurts, in your same. Jay doesn't really do any preparation for this show, so when there is a book to be read, a la our other guest, Pete Gass, my get this week, I read the book. Jay didn't.
I did read his book. He sent it to me well, here's the thing. I did read it, but I read it a year ago when he sent me an advanced copy of it. He's like, hey, read this and you can give me a quote. If you could, stomach it and you feel like you can make something happen.
Stomach it. if there's a movie to be watched, if there's, it's me. It's me doing the background work. Mm-hmm. It's me actually watching the stuff, reading the stuff, and Jay just piggybacks. And you can tell when you listen because he goes, yeah, okay, yeah,
so
and it was great, and it was great. Yeah, it was great. The phoniest, yeah.
I feel like I'm versed enough that I can, work my way through something if I didn't watch it, if I know the gist of it.
Yeah.
To make, points seem like
you actually did something.
No, for this, well, you even said, it's hard when you have kids. So it is to watch all the shows, right? So a lot of the times I'll DVR it and I'll fast forward through stuff, and the ad stuff, I will just keep fast forwarding until something comes on that's action wise. So yeah, I probably missed the Great Balls of Fire pull up to the drive-in thing, but pretty genius that I thought of it anyway, right?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But super excited, and I just did the thing again. Damn it. So, but I am excited about this, as I've said before, and as I will say in this interview, I think it's a WrestleMania main event. I think it could have been saved for that because it is truly...
Looking at it too now, right? I mean, we see in the promos that Joe's had leading up to this, it might be one of those ones where they didn't know how
I don't think they knew
play out, and now
I don't think they knew
that he's he's kind of even, he's stealing Paul's thunder even a little bit in the promos and all those sorts of things. Like he's being more the aggressor. He's kind of on the attack, even not waiting to respond for when, because Paul is very great on the microphone, right? And
probably the best.
Yeah, so he's standing there going toe to toe with him and holding his own or better. And I don't know if they realized that that's how it was going to be. So if they did, like you said, the good thing with wrestling, you can fix anything. You can.
And not that there's anything to be fixed. Right. I just think
no. Yeah.
This truly is, as we've said and as we will today, this is one of those dream matches that for years people thought, that could be pretty cool. And now it's actually happening. And to me, it just feels like people would have, bought this as one of, because Mania is based around 3 or 4 matches now. That's easily one of the pillars that could have held up the pay-per-view.
Yeah. And if they didn't,
just my take, Bird.
You know what it would have made me do?
What?
It would have made me shake my nerves and rattle my brain.
Dun,
Give
dun,
much
dun, dun.
love, drop the man and sing.
Dun, 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 dun.
You broke my wheel.
But what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Maybe we should go there and sing the theme.
Yeah? That'll make it better, huh?
We'd go in our Fat Elvis outfits.
Oh, okay, well that would.
Yeah.
Hey, never mind. Jerry Lee Lewis was in the front row that night.
He was, and he was laughing.
Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah.
He actually said so afterward, too.
Yeah.
We met Jerry Lee Lewis. How crazy is that?
That's pretty crazy. Yeah. Even sometimes it was insane. It was funny, too. Like you said, watch it back, and you could see him just kind of really laughing when we were doing the whole Fat Elvis and Fatter Elvis 5-second pose. It's one of our good ones.
Yeah. One of our better ones for sure. Yeah. No comment even on my 69 Camaro named Lurch, by the way. You weren't even listening to me, were you? That's a great name for a 69 Camaro.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a 69 Camaro named Doug.
He sounds really boring.
Oh, he's cool.
Lurch sounds far, far cooler.
Doug. Man. When did you get a 69 Camaro?
I had a 69 Camaro when I lived down in Florida. It doesn't work so well in the mountains. I bottomed out every time I hit the driveway. A 69 Camaro is not meant for the mountains, is what I learned. So I bought a Jeep and a pickup truck. What do you think about that, Bird?
I honestly don't really give a shit.
Really? Hey, Bird.
I'm being honest.
Hey, Bird. Bird. What? You will about this. Just announced you and I will be at the London Comic-Con on July 29th and 30th.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, we are doing 5-second poses and signing for the 5-second hosers or the edgeheads or the peeps or a combination of both, all three, whatever it is. We'll be there, sign autographs, taking pics, and come hang out with us. I don't think you and I have ever done a signing together in England, Great Britain. I don't think we've ever done one over there. No, it's the first one. It's long overdue.
And because you study our stats, because you're our numbers guy, you know that England and Ireland and Scotland, essentially our second biggest market behind the U.S., right?
North America, yeah. I mean, we have a really big following over there, so we thank all of our fans in Great Britain. And, so we're looking forward to getting over there and tell us how much you hate Edge and love me. Yeah,
something like that. Before we get to Pete Gas... Yeah. We conducted this interview, and Pete was driving in New York City, and I'm pretty sure that he rolled down his window because he shit himself.
Yeah, we're debating,
and he needed to roll down the window.
Yeah, we're debating this kind of off air, and we've all kind of surmised that he shit himself, and because he was like, "No, I didn't roll the window down. What are you talking about?" I mean, you'll hear it if it's left in the interview. It didn't get edited out, but
no, Mega Matt wouldn't edit that out. You didn't edit that out, did you, Mega Matt?
No, that's it. That's staying in there.
All right, good.
Yeah. That's staying in there. So, and I think it's unanimous from this unholy trio that is us. We all agree that he farted, and he had to roll down the windows because he stinks so bad. That's my take. He denied doing it, and he jumped on it way too quick. You're going to hear this in the interview.
He's so like offended.
Hey, no, I didn't.
I didn't. What are you talking about?
So.
Gas.
But we talked to Pete Gas. We talked to him about his book, and then Samoa Joe, Great Balls of Fire, Brock Lesnar, coming off of that pull apart, coming off of that two interview, split interview, and then raging through the back and having small little agents like Jamie Noble try and hold him back.
That'd be like having,
it was good.
That'd be like having Mega Matt pull us apart when I'm fucking stapling your eyelids to your forehead and using a super glue stick to your ball sack to your inner thigh, and then having Samoa Joe hit you with a muscle buster and then choke you out.
Well, see, it's interesting because I thought it was very similar to when I pulled your spindly little legs apart and inserted my foot in your ass up to my knee, pulled it out, but I also pulled your tonsils out with it. Then I threw them to Brock Lesnar, and he F5'd them before Paul Heyman then pissed all over them.
Well, I put you in a hammerlock, and then I took your one Abby chest flap, and I used the not smooth side of a Velcro strip, and I scrubbed it back and forth with a chainsaw.
Well, then I took your gut shelf and I took your old man sack that hangs to your knees and I tied a knot. And then I had Pete Gas hit the gas mask on you, which nothing can get worse than that because you're now being beat by Pete Gas.
Yeah, that would be humiliating. Debilitating.
I mean, we can all agree that that's probably the worst thing that could happen to you in your wrestling career, right? Is
oh my god,
Pete Gas gets the 1, 2, 3 on you.
That'd be the worst. I guess we should talk to Gas.
Well,
what's going on?
Without further ado, we should probably throw to the farting man.
Beater. I actually think a more apropos title for your book, Pete, should have been "Looking at the Lights. My Life is a Beater."
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good start to an interview, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, right in both feet. Why am I not surprised that Jay would come right in with it and just start knocking me down right away?
Hey, I got to be on the offense with you, man, because you're very sneaky with your wit. I don't think people realize that about you.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's going to be a long interview, I could tell.
Yeah,
no, actually, it's not. We're going to try to rush you off here real quick.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Adam, I asked him about being on the show to help promote the book, and he says to me, no, we only have people that are over on our show.
I tell everyone weekly what a dick he is.
Oh,
he's
so
just
true.
a dick. Although I do have to say that I really like the dynamic of your relationship, you two. It's fun to watch. It kind of feels like Shane and I have the same relationship that you two have.
You know what's funny about mine and Jay's relationship is, like, 1 minute we'll be like at each other, calling each other names, and then the next minute we'll be like talking about our cats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, our cat does this, and then it literally changes like the weather.
Yeah, or a real heart-to-heart conversation.
Or if
after
somebody
he calls you a beater.
Yeah, or if somebody that you don't know says something bad about the other one, you get offensive and you stick up for the other guy. It's like, hey, no one's allowed to talk bad about Pete Gas but me. You know, shut your mouth.
Such a douche.
But I really was. I was reading the book and I got a lot of chuckles, and thank you for mentioning us in actually really glowing terms. But when you got to the glossary of your grade school words that somehow filtered into like me and Jay being involved with it too, I couldn't stop laughing.
Well, those words are heartfelt to start. I'll get a little mushy real quick, but
we'll get that out of the way.
Yeah. So you guys did do a lot of help. You know, you helped a lot in my development and helped me get through a lot of times that were stuff that people didn't have to do. You know, stuff you guys didn't have to do that, and you really helped, and it was greatly appreciated. And, we went, because Rodney and I were in there blind, and to have you guys pull us aside and say, hey, try this or do that, really helped. And I want to thank you guys publicly for that.
Yeah, no, we knew what it was like to be the new guys there, but we had a little bit of advantage of the fact that we had kind of come up like through the indies and stuff like that, so we had been working and you guys are just kind of thrown in there, right? And they're tough waters to navigate, especially if you don't know how kind of everything works and that sort of thing. So we're just we knew right off the bat from talking to you guys that you guys were good guys, and we liked you. You had the same kind of personality as we did. We got a kick out of you guys. You were funny. We got along right off the bat. So obviously, yeah, we wanted to make sure that you guys, were kind of headed in the right direction, and we're going to be taken care of.
Well, I know how hard it was, just to further your point, Jay, for us coming in with experience, and how out of our depth we felt, let alone never having had a match before and being thrown into this situation. And 2 weeks later, you're at WrestleMania. I would imagine some people probably were hot about it, but I know I never was. I felt the opposite way. It's like, man, these guys are getting thrown into this situation. It's an amazing situation, but they know it is. Like, you guys knew it was a cool deal. It's not like you were looking gift horse in the mouth or anything like that. So I think we both took the mentality of these are cool guys that are thrown into this situation, but they're trying. It's not like they're just saying, hey, we deserve this or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't like you guys walked in, you were like, hey, we're Shane's childhood buddies. We're kind of untouchable here, or we're, owed something, or we're we can get away with more stuff. Like, it wasn't like that. You guys were like super humble right off the bat and wanted to start from the bottom and work your way up and earn whatever it was that you were going to get. And I appreciated that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way, you guys know me now, but that's just the way we are. I mean, we never really took it for granted. And, when it originally started, Shane was like, could you do us a favor? So we never really even considered we never thought we were going to be there longer than a cup of coffee anyway. And to be honest, I think that's the way everyone felt. And then I think just because we were getting such a great reaction of fans hating us, that's the only reason why they kept us. And, and as you guys know, that's what the business is all about, whether they're going to boo you or cheer you. That's what everyone in that locker room aims for. But,
that was the thing. Sorry to interrupt you. That was the thing. No, like, you guys, sure, you instantly got a reaction because you're affiliated with Shane, but I remember watching and going, man, like, and seeing the pre-tapes that you guys cut, which I found out in the book you were drunk for.
Yeah, that's so funny.
But I remember watching that. I was like, man, this could be really cool and funny, and it will get heat, and it did. It's not like the fans were apathetic to it. It got a reaction.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff that we were loved to be. They loved hating us so much. Like, we used to get threatened in the parking lot and all sorts of stuff going on. It was great. I mean, I loved going to work every day. And that it was from the beginning to the end, and I used to bounce out of bed and, like, I don't know if it's because I never knew when it would end or what. I just loved it, and it was really depressing when it was over. So I know a lot of people are glad when it's over, but I wasn't. I literally had a smile on my face all the time. I just loved it.
Well, we'll talk about how you dealt with, when it was over after, but, like, I was really interested in reading that, because how a lot of times with wrestling, people really get invested with the characters, and we play the same characters essentially for the entire lifespan of your career. And a lot of times that can get confusing to folks. Like, people really assume that you run around with a trench coat spearing people sometimes, and forget that you have an actual name, and your name is, yours is your name, but people can get really invested. And it was interesting in the book how you said, like, everyone assumes that you're this rich, well-to-do white kid who's a billionaire or a millionaire, and that's far from the case.
Yeah, I mean, my father, we lived in Greenwich. My father was a plumber, and it got tough. Were times where my dad used to have to drive from Greenwich to New London, which is like 2 hours, if not more, one way every day to go to work, and just to put food on the table. And I mean, we lived in Greenwich. We were considered then middle class. I mean, my parents bought the house for $30,000. He didn't want to go the extra $5,000 because for a place right around the corner, which was more money. But like his mortgage was $100, and back then that was a big deal, you know. And it was just, you know, it's funny because you think Greenwich, you think everyone's got a yacht and everyone's got, you know, their Mercedes or Range Rover or whatever, and we didn't. So we were just Rodney and I were just middle class guys, and just. But that's the beauty of Shane, because Shane was never acted like he was, you know, some rich snobby kid either. That's why we all got along great, because I think we were all kind of screwed in the head anyway. So we all blended really well.
Well, and speaking of beaters, how about Rodney?
I just spoke to him yesterday.
Yeah.
He's literally, he's, you guys ever see The Honeymooners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever see
To the moon.
Ralph Cramden always, Ralph Cramden always had this full-fledged plan to become rich and all this other stuff, and he's pitching all these ideas on how, you know, we're going to make money together, we're going to do this, and it's hysterical because the stuff never comes true, and it's just Rodney being Rodney, and it's just he's still out of his mind. He hasn't changed one bit.
I used to love that we used to just like randomly, and we just did it again recently last year when we were up there shooting the ENC show, and we hadn't done it in a while, but we used to get together and be like, and you'd be like, hey, let's call Rodney and you know, we'll prank call him, and then we'd like make a fake name, and then we'd call him out and like, man, you're not tough, and he would get like legit mad, like, who is this?
Such a hothead.
And then you'd tell him who you are, and all of a sudden he'd get real
short.
Yeah, and he'd get real quiet and be like, you mother effer, you know, and then he'd start telling you all the things he's going to do to you when he finds out that it's you calling, which is hilarious. He's just a funny guy.
And by the way, every episode, and I don't know if you've done it yet on this episode, every episode you guys talk to each other and say how, you know, like the one I just heard last week, that Christian's going to tape your nose back and ram your face into a man. Like,
after I said I was going to rip out his teeth and embed them in his nails. Yeah. Yeah, that's from Rodney.
Right.
That's from
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny.
Well, we'll have one this week. I got some stuff lined up that I want to do to Jay this week.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You write yours out, 'cause mine are just spontaneous.
Well, no, I'm just thinking like right now I want to kick you in the face like I'm a minotaur, Jay. Like I am a horseman, and I just want to beat your face back and forth with my hoofs.
Man, I would like to slice open your stomach with an X-Acto knife, and then then peck you in the wound with one of those pink lawn flamingos.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what I would like to do is take Pete's foot, cut it off, shove it in your mouth sideways, and then ram your head into Pete's crotch repeatedly until you both pass out, and then I piss all over you.
I was thinking about cutting off Christian's leg right at the knee, using it as a toothpick, and then I was going to slap you across the face with it.
Okay, you win.
You know what I was going to do to you? I was going to roll you up. I'm going to roll you up in a slip and slide, but I realized that I probably need 3 or 4 of them attached together, and then I would beat you about the body and head with a lacrosse stick.
A lacrosse stick.
Yeah.
This is.
I feel like I'm backstage.
I know. For folks listening to this is basically what we did backstage every day. And in the book, again, you talk about it, how that's the thing that you missed the most, I think, was just the guys and the camaraderie and that locker room goofiness, you know, that, and I think it's probably the same in any kind of sporting locker room. It's the same with wrestling. It's just that kind of brotherhood and sisterhood that you get when you have a job where you're trusting your life to each other, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And plus the fact that you spend more time with them than you do anyone else.
You know what I appreciate too was the fact that when you were, you know, there was a lot of times where we rode together for like live event loops and things like that. And, you know, we'd have our goofy moments where we'd all be like joking around and laughing and that stuff. But then, you know, it got serious too, where you guys would just ask us stuff about, you know, what we were doing in matches and why we were doing certain things. And so there was always like that thirst for knowledge from you guys too, which I really appreciated, that you were always like, that you wanted to learn, and you like, especially even when you eventually, kind of veered away from being the Mean Street Posse with Shane.
Gas, did you just roll down your windows or something?
What's that? Did I?
Did you just? Yeah. What was that?
No,
Where
I was
are
going to say, my ears pressed up. I'm driving in New York City traffic, and my ears pressed up because Christian is so faint, and you literally got more faint. But no, I don't have anything. I even shut off the air conditioner now, so now I'm going to just start sweating all over myself.
So now you're just going to sit there and beef all over yourself. It's going to smell like a meatball by the time you get out of there.
Under my boobs, everything, sweat.
I picture you. I picture you cruising through New York City traffic on a Segway with one of those great Gazoo helmets on.
We just dated ourselves completely. I get the Gazoo reference. Yeah. I got to draw a picture of that now. Gas. Yeah. Just that big head.
He's such a dick.
No, but what I was saying is, I appreciated the fact that, like we said, when we all ride together, like on live events and things like that, we'd have our goofy times, we'd joke around, we'd have fun, we'd laugh, but it also got serious where you guys would, pick our brains, asking us why we were doing certain things in matches and asking us about psychology, right. and you always wanted to get better, and especially after, the Mean Street Posse thing with Shane kind of ended, and you guys even went down to developmental in Memphis and spent time down there and honed your craft and things like that and wanted to get better. You moved away from home. Like, I really appreciated that.
Yeah, I mean, I was ready to do whatever I had to do to get better, because it's something that I always dreamt of doing. Is I always wanted to be a wrestler, and then Shane shot me down back when I was like 23 years old.
Yeah,
and then to finally get that opportunity, then get a taste of it, and then to literally just know that this is something I loved, and now to live that dream, I wanted to do everything possible. And I mean, you guys saw me when I first came in. I was a lot. I was built like an offensive lineman still. I wasn't built like a wrestler. Not like you guys. And I just, I took it upon myself to say, this is what I want to do. I need to get better in every single facet. And the fact that you guys were willing to listen and field questions and help me, that was just such a bonus, because I don't know if you guys remember. I remember meeting you guys before you, when you came in for your tryouts with Dr. Tom and Terry Funk. Do you guys remember that
Dory.
or no?
Yeah, with Dory, I think.
Or Dory. Sorry, Dory.
They brought me in. I was signed by that point, but they brought me into the first dojo camp. And then I think, Jay, you were in the third one?
I was in the third or fourth, but I wasn't signed. I got signed that week that I went there. That was the week they offered me a developmental deal.
But no, but man, when we start getting into like 20-year digits, it's foggy. But so I met you, or did you meet Jay and just think he was an uglier version of me?
No. Well, I met Jay. He was probably staring at himself in the mirror, like flexing and stuff. That's another story.
The double
I met both of you guys. We used to. Rodney and I used to work out at the gym. Shane gave us keys, and we would just go in whatever. But like, there were times where you guys would be in the ring all day and then go work out afterwards, or vice versa, or whatever. Yeah. And Rodney and I would be in there working out, and we would, we would always like interact with you guys. And I remember it was you guys were there. I remember Matt Bloom was there. A bunch of the guys, even Kurt. Even Kurt was there, so I remember that. But it was always kind of cool to see guys coming through. I remember like Dwayne Johnson came through, and he was actually a great guy. And it's funny how like it was great watching you guys, and then you guys developed. And I remember when Adam, when you came in, I don't know if this shirt actually came out and was sold, but they made a T-shirt for you called Silent Rage. Was that a sale? Did they end up selling that, or did you shoot that down?
Oh, Silent Rage. That was, I do.
That was great.
It was,
right at the beginning.
Yeah, it was, we're trying to think of, Anger is a Gift was another one. Just trying to think of stuff. I was listening to a lot of Rage Against the Machine and trying to think of...
Well, that's when you were trying to figure out what that character was, right? Like, you didn't really know.
And no idea what it was. All I know is they had me reciting poetry, and Russo said he wanted me to be like Jim Morrison, and I had no idea how that translated. Or, that's not me. That's not me at all, So it was a work in progress there at the beginning, just trying to find stuff that would fit or click. Honestly, it wasn't until like the Rated R Superstar thing I was like, okay, this I know, this I get, rather than just white meat babyface. And when Jay and I did all that stuff, I felt that okay, we had it there. And the Brood too was another instance. But that was one of the first incarnations of trying to figure out stuff.
Yeah, because I actually had that T-shirt because it was an inside joke with I don't know if you remember Joe Giorno and Chris Gilman. They did the T-shirts back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You may or may not remember, whatever. It was an inside joke with those guys and me about Silent Rage, because they used to call me that years before. So they gave me the T-shirt, and then it was just funny. I don't know why I brought it up, but it just popped in my head. I guess into that whole era.
Because you're saying that Adam stole your gimmick.
Well, honestly, in my first bunch of matches, it was more like silent reactions. There was nothing. It was fucking crickets.
Gotcha.
So, and then I just scream. I was like, what am I doing? Yeah.
Jay, what were you going to say? Sarcastic.
Oh, I just said no.
Yeah,
you're basically saying that he stole your gimmick, which is cool. So
Hey Birdman.
What?
Hey Birdman. Guess what? Did you know that I wrote a foreword? One of the forewords to Pete Gass's book.
I did know that. He
The
basically
Gas
assumed
Man's
that
book?
I couldn't write.
Well,
And Jay did a blurb.
Yeah. How'd you like that? How'd you like my blurb?
he's good for blurbs here and there.
Yeah. I'm a blurb guy.
Yeah, and Adam, I still, like, from time to time, pick up the book and read just your forward and just absolutely laugh hysterically. For anyone who hasn't read it yet, you got to pick it up just for that reason alone, because it's funny. It's hysterical.
My writing is different. I write the way stuff comes into my head, which can be confusing to some people because my brain is a confusing place to be at times. But yeah, I had fun doing it. Thanks for asking me. Appreciate it. Yeah. And I'm glad that Jay is not in any way on the front of the book. He's on the back of the book. I like that. I like that.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I'm on there. That's all that counts. Speaking of the book, what kind of gave you the idea to decide to go this route and write it and kind of?
I always felt like it was a unique story, and there's not many people, if any, can say that they had literally, like, someone like Vince McMahon put them on television and just throw them right in the ring, and just talks about how I always wanted to tell that story because I thought it was kind of unique, but I had we got sent to Memphis. I remember going into, like, Buddy Wayne's backyard, and that's where our training facility was, and that Steven Regal was our trainer. Wow. And he ended up, I remember looking, it was like a gym. It had, like, gym equipment in the yard. It was all rusted out, and it was a horrible conditions. There were dead mice on the ring, and
jeez.
I remember turning to R-Truth and telling him, I'm like, I got to take pictures of this. One day I'm going to write a book, and it's going to be in there. And I ended up getting it in there, so it's kind of cool. I thought it was a good story to tell, and so far everyone that read it seems to enjoy it.
Well, it's interesting too. Just like all the people, when you go through the list of all the people that had a hand in training you, basically taking you from zero experience, and trying to get you up to speed, basically giving you, a crib sheet to try and get up to speed. But you had, Tom Pritchard, you had Steve Regal. Who else was there? Was Rip Rogers? Was he another one?
No, beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Beautiful Bobby.
Then,
yep.
When we first came in at New York with Terry Taylor and PSAs, and it was. I mean, we had a great list of people to help us, and then of course having you guys along the way as well.
Savio, and I mean, and down in Memphis, you like Tracy and Dutch Mantell, and
yep.
I mean that's a who's who right there of
yep.
And it just goes to show too. It's great that guys with that amount of experience didn't hold a grudge and were like, okay, they obviously saw something, that you guys were willing to learn and had open eyes and ears to want to do this.
But it wasn't always peaches and cream, though. So there was a
well, it's wrestling. It's not going to be, right? But
right. No, of course. So I really got to tell this story because it just happened a couple weeks ago, and I told you about it, I think, via text. I shared a table at a signing, Legends of Wrestling in New Jersey, with Bob Holly. So
yes.
I go and we were there signing all day. At the end of the day, I went to put my books in the car, and I came back to say my goodbyes to everybody. And Bob kind of like grabbed me by the wrist and said, "Come here, I want to talk to you about something." And I didn't know what he wanted to talk about. And Bob's always been a pretty intimidating, tough guy, and
he's an intense dude.
He goes, "I want you to call Rodney, and I want you to tell him what I'm about to tell you." And he said, "You two guys are two tough son of a bitches." And I just kind of smiled. And I was like, "Well, thanks, Bob." He goes, No. He goes, "We would talk about you guys behind your back when you first came in, and it would be me, Bradshaw, Farouk, at one point Benoit." And he said, "We tried to break you guys. We wanted to see if we could get you guys to bitch and moan, cry, want to fight us, anything we possibly could do." And he goes, "Then you would come back after we gave you a beating, come backstage, and you had a smile on your face." And he said, we tried so hard to try to break you guys, and we just couldn't do it. And that gave me goosebumps when he said it, because, this business, we didn't pay our dues like you guys did or anyone else in that locker room. It was totally different. So we had to earn respect in a whole different way, and I felt like we definitely accomplished that. And then it was proof a couple weeks ago with what Bob had to tell me.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think that's changed a little bit, and probably for better. I think because that way there's less danger to the human body. But that's kind of the way it was back then. Because even in the book you talk about it, you see some of the chair shots from that era, and it's like, oh man, like just some of the blows that were inflicted on our heads. And we just didn't know any better at that point. It was almost like a badge of honor, to not get your hands up and take it as hard as you could. And it's definitely a caveman way of looking at it. I'm glad it's changed, but that's the way it was then.
Yeah, I guess.
And
it has changed, because now if you look at it like in today's terms, you would probably have been at the Performance Center and kind of eased your way into it, where instead of being kind of just thrust into the fire like you were back when you guys started out.
But it doesn't make for as good a story.
No, sure it doesn't.
You also talked in there, huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, spit it out, Gas. Just take over the show. What do you want to say?
Let me take over. One of my favorite things ever in WWE or WWF at the time was Sunday Night Heat, when you guys were our managers.
Oh yeah, we got our manager license just for that.
I had so much fun that day. Yeah. We were in, I think we were in Baltimore. I think we were in Baltimore. I forgot where we were. But you guys, the stuff that happened through all the vignettes of that episode, I found it on YouTube once, and I watched it probably like 10 times over, and I just remembered all the stuff that we were making, just laughing about. It was just so much fun.
I gotta find that. Find that.
Didn't I say something like we got our manager licenses, and like Rodney was like, "Are those things even real?" I was like, "Well, it's blue, isn't it?" And you're like, "Yeah, Rodney, well, it is blue."
Yeah, I'm like, "Right, they are blue."
Yeah. And in the book, you talk about that. Like Tommy Blacha was a guy that we all worked with, and he was a writer for WWF. And I still get random weird texts from Tommy, and we will just randomly send each other strange stuff. But like, he was great to work with because we all had similar sense of humor. And the stuff that would make us giggle made him giggle, and then we just all start spitballing, and then before you know it, you started to see some of the stuff. But he was one of those kind of unsung guys from that era who was really involved. His fingertips were involved in a lot of stuff.
And that's probably because he wasn't there for a real long time, but the stuff that he did was really, really good.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that once he left, because he dealt with us a lot, especially through the 24/7 hardcore stuff.
Yep.
And once he left, you could see like our characters really started to go on the decline, and eventually we're taken off TV because they just had no ideas for us.
Well, and that's interesting because sometimes people will go, "What happened to that character?" or "What happened to that storyline?" or even in TV series, a lot of times you see like a character's written slowly out, and a lot of that can be what's going on behind the scenes, like a writer leaves the staff, and that writer was in charge of the Mean Street Posse, so that writer had his finger on the pulse of what the posse was and had that rapport with you guys, and that Tommy goes, and then somebody else might not have that same, they're trying to play catch up.
Absolutely. And Tommy used to actually give us some say, like when we would do 24/7 stuff, we would go to locations, whether it be like the circus or hotel or whatever it was. And we would, once we got to that location, we were going over matches. He would, if we spit something out, we'd all be laughing about it, having a great time. And then he would, we'd just bounce ideas off each other. And he actually used a lot of our ideas afterwards, which really was, it was great that he would give us that opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you guys are idiots just like us, but you had good comedic timing. And usually if you can make each other laugh, there's a good chance that more people in the audience are going to find that funny too, especially in that era, because there was so many college, it was such a huge college audience at that point. Yeah. And you knew that if we were doing something that all of us were laughing at, or that maybe Tommy was laughing at, or something, that it was going to translate to a lot of those idiots in the audience too. And I mean that in a warm, fuzzy way, not in a derogatory way.
Absolutely.
What do you got to add to that, Gas? Huh?
I was going to say, that's what we used to. I still hear stories about like kids saying that they were in college and they would come to the shows wearing sweater vests. To me, that was great because it was an awesome feeling.
Nowadays, if you were there, they would have merchandised those. You guys would have
sweater vests,
MSP sweater vests.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but we weren't allowed to have T-shirts, action figures, none of that back then because Vince did not want to show any favoritism towards.
I get it.
Towards, because back then everyone didn't get one. Didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah. What about video games? You guys are in video games, though, right?
What do you say?
In video games?
You guys were unlocked characters, right? You had to unlock you guys, I think, right?
Yeah. PlayStation 2 for SmackDown, PlayStation 1, we were hidden characters. That was a miracle to me.
Yeah, man, hey, all said and done, you're in a video game, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
That's badass. You have, no matter if you wanted it to last longer or whatever, you have been in WrestleMania. You've gotten color at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Color, brother.
Absolutely too.
And you've been in a video game. That, to me, right there, that's a success. And now you've written a damn book about it.
Yeah.
You're milking this for everything you can now.
Doing signings or hitting the road. Rolling around in Segways. Come on, man.
So, yeah. And then, so you and I got back in touch through Twitter, which, because I'm 18 phones since the last time I had your number at that point. And then Jay and I are putting together the show for the network, and we were like, well, we got to have Gas. I mean, we got to have Gas as our mailman or something. And
well, it happened because we were there too. We had discussed some stuff, and then we were kind of going over some stuff for the show at the studio in Stamford, and we looked over, and there happened to be a mailbox that said Mean Street Posse on it, and we were like, what if Pete Gas was our mailman, and he just randomly delivered us stuff during the show? And that's when we're like, that's perfect. That's what it is. And then we called you and you're like, yeah, I'll be the mailman. It was great.
That was so much fun. I wanted to go there and just hang out on the days that you guys weren't using me, just because it was just 8 hours of just laughing or however long it would be. Like, and and again, us busting each other's balls and stuff.
Yeah.
But my favorite skit we did was the last one.
Yeah.
The one where you guys were interrogating Funaki.
Yeah.
And you remember what I did with that with Val's unit when I slapped him? I was spanking him Funaki across on the side of the face against his cheek.
Yeah, that never made it to air.
There's a few things on that. There's a few things on that that got left on the editing room floor. We'll just say that, right?
Right.
Or that was the one when the light bulb hit me in the back of the head too, right?
That's right.
The noise that light bulb made, I couldn't stop laughing. It was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. That's funny.
That, and I think when you were leaving the first skit we did, and you went, "See you, beaters."
Yeah.
I had to hold it together for a few of those takes, but it was cool because we hadn't really got to hang out since since back in the day, brother. And it was again just like putting on an old shoe. We just started having fun and busting each other's chops, and it was a good time.
And I think that's the best part about being in that locker room at that era or whatever. But not that I have a lot to work on, but it's just like your wrestling friends, like you pick up right where you left off.
Yeah. And
that's the best part about it. Just great times.
Yeah, there's a certain camaraderie there that you never lose, especially when you spend, like I said, you're on the road, you're spending a lot of time, more time than you are with your own family. So in a sense, they become your family in a way. So there's always that bond that no matter, like I said, it could be 10 years and you see the person, usually just pick up right where you left off.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years has been nice, hanging out at Mania. I got to meet your wife, which, by the way, you went way above your pay grade, dude.
So, you guys,
how does that happen?
You guys suck. Every guy, every time I see Matt Bloom, he says to me, he goes, dude, you outkicked your coverage. And I'm like, I'm very, very fortunate.
I mean, we all have, we all have to be fair, but it's just our turn to bust your chops, and it's. I know Joanna's listening, or at least I hope she is. So we just got to let her know that you really. It was kind of you to see Pete and go, you know what?
Yeah, you're a saint.
This poor guy. Sure. Yeah, why not, buddy?
Look at this mess. Look at him.
What a shipwreck.
Hey, can I have a place? I may need a place to stay. Do you mind if I, after I get divorced? Do you mind putting me up?
Yeah, sure. You can squat in the apartment here. Sure. Yeah.
I hear it all the time. She's a beautiful girl, but she's even prettier on the inside. So.
She's a great lady. It's been nice, getting to know her over the last couple of years too, which is one of the great things about Mania now. It really just feels like an alumni meeting almost. You get to see all these folks. Like, we were standing there and somebody asked to snap a picture, and it was Hillbilly Jim, Tatanka, me, and Bob Backlund. And I just went, what? How does this weird menagerie of strangeness end up in one picture? And it also made me realize how huge Hillbilly Jim is and how big his head is. Because I got a pretty large cranium. So do you, Gas. But he would make our heads look like a pebble. Like, that dude's got a planet for a head.
Jay has no comment. Usually Jay will be.
Well, he's got a low pea head, so he feels left out.
I don't want him. I don't want my little head to be made fun of.
He's got the little head. You got the massive head, Gas. I mean,
my jaw is big. I got
it's
those
like
cheeseburgers. Don't help.
Yeah. I mean, you got some broad shoulders to carry it, but that's a big head you got.
This is great. We're covering the fact that my wife, I outkicked my coverage. My wife is really good looking. Now we're going to pick on my head and my.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Don't worry. We talked about your book for 45 seconds, so don't worry about
it. You had to know it was coming at some point.
I mean, we bonded over the cats.
Yeah. They had their own little conversation going on about cats.
Yeah.
And then my wife goes, he walked away, and my wife goes, he's so sweet. I go, you don't know him.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
That's funny.
Oh, listen, there's the laugh.
Yeah.
There's the weird Christian laugh right there.
Yeah.
Oh, the fake one? Is that the fake one?
Yeah.
Guys.
That was the fake one.
Guys, come on. I'm a really nice person.
You get one of those per episode, and we just got it. Sometimes you'll get 3 or 4, and that's when you know he's really just phoning it in.
Yeah.
It's funny because I listen to your podcast a lot when I'm driving, and I'll be like, that was fake. I totally can pick up all of them too.
Yeah. You know right away.
They're not fake, guys. I try to change it up. I want to be dynamic.
Well, the fact that you're thinking about your laugh tells me that they're fake.
No.
You need to get Matt, every time he does the fake laugh, just to have a bell so the audience knows when they're fake, and he can just hit the bell like a little ding. Like
that's a good idea.
Or like an alarm. Fake laugh alert, fake laugh alert, fake laugh alert. You do something like that, too.
I like Gas's better. Hey, Gas, you want to be on the writing staff? It's basically just me and Jay.
Yeah.
And we don't write anything.
Yeah, we just wing it. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell by this interview, which started as soon as we patched through to you.
Yeah.
There's no break in the ice. There's no, hey, how's it going, man?
Zero intro. No. I didn't hear a zero intro. It's like right away going right at me. That's all I hear.
That's what we do.
Oh, don't worry. We'll give you the proper intro in post. Don't worry about it.
This is all good because it's an easy interview because we've known each other for years. So this is like a no-brainer. I mean, it's an easy. You don't have to research anything.
Easy for you to say. Hey, this show's full court press. We fire the tough questions right out of the gate, man. This is salacious stuff. I mean, we want to get the dirt sheets and the rumor mills going, brother. That's what we do here.
Yeah, and our producer Matt, if you haven't known it, he's a stooge for the sheets.
Hey, how come the mock box you didn't make it as your listeners instead of
the 5-second hosers?
Yeah.
5-second hosers. You know what? Mock Mocks would have been good too. Or I think Mock Mock Maniacs were another one.
I love the Mock Mock Maniacs.
In hindsight, that would have been good. I'm not going to lie. You know what we got to do though, Gas, and we got to do it with your expansive chin. Is we have to we
need to do a mock mockumentary.
A mock tutorial on there's a lot of people confused on what the mock is. So I feel like when we do like a Facebook Live or something, when we get your jowls, we want to go mock and get right under there and show people, and I think your face is the perfect one for it.
We'll even get it in super slow motion so you can see all the skin and everything moving. It'd be great.
Yeah, and it looks like a wave. It's like waves of fat.
It's like a flesh tsunami.
Hey, speaking of mock mocks, I was told by Shane to mock you at Legends of the Ring, and I didn't do it. I didn't start the war. I didn't start it.
That's solid because unlike Jay, who is a complete turncoat, who you can't trust, he just which way's the wind blowing? That's the way he's going to go.
Yeah.
You, my friend Pete Gas, you have some honor and integrity because the mock should be a one-on-one, unless we're playing team mock. And if it's team mock, then that's fine.
He said give your phone to somebody and have them tape it and just go up to you and just mock the hell out of you.
And this is because he got the Mania mock and he was so hot. We've talked about it on the show a little bit, but he was so pissed because it's pre-match. He's getting all fired up. He's getting worked up. He was sweaty
because it was so hot back there. He was all sweaty and sticky.
I was drenched from mocking him, but it was so worth it.
When you had him on your show, and of course he rips my chin and my double chins and my triple chin, whatever you want to call it. I called him out on it after WrestleMania at the after party, and he completely denied. He said, "No, I didn't. It was those guys." And I said, "I heard it, you idiot."
That's the heat.
He's like, "Oh, did I?"
Tried to pass the heat, even though you could clearly just go back and listen to him doing it. Deny.
We were in the hotel that morning, and I'm listening to it that Friday morning, and I'm like, I can't believe even Mac's piling on. And that's I had it when I called him out on it. He totally tried to blame it on you guys.
That's funny.
So, hey, do you remember when we were shooting for the Edge and Christian show? How you told me that where my spot was to go to do the show, and meanwhile someone was taping it, and I mocked you.
Yeah, I remember.
You were about to get hot at me because I didn't hit my mark, and all of a sudden I just come over and mock you.
And you could see it too. I'm like, what is he doing? This dumb. I had my director's hat on. I was being all directorial and like, what the? Come on, hit your mark. And the slow realization. Yeah, the slow realization of, he got me. And then I know that it's not really you. It is you, but it's basically Shane's body has inhabited you, and it's, Yeah.
So you guys took this mocking thing to a whole other level after Rodney and I were gone. You guys, this thing built
got serious.
Holy cow, it got big.
It got serious. Yeah. Couple of alphas who don't like to lose. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, Shane has made it into an art form. He uses props and uses other people. He gets really into this whole thing about the mock, and he doesn't let it go until he gets even.
No, and he had just met Samoa Joe and used him as a 300-pound Samoan roadblock to get in the Dallas WrestleMania mock. Meanwhile, he's got a Hell in a Cell coming up.
Yeah.
And he skips going to the gym so that he can wait half an hour behind Joe to mock me. It's
But that's why what you did last year, or this past WrestleMania, it warrants it. He should not get mad at you for that.
Nope, he can't. All's fair in love and mock. You're probably driving through New York City in a very unsafe way but you got us on speaker, right?
Hold on, you want me to pull over?
No.
Can you not hear me?
No. But man, it was good talking to you. Good, have you on the show finally. And for those that don't know, the book is called Looking at the Lights: My Path from Fan to a Wrestling Heel, with forewords by me and JBL and blurbs.
Yeah, I got a blurb
by Mick Foley.
It's pretty steep.
Mick Foley and Jay. You want me to read your blurb, Jay?
Yeah, let's read the blurb. Let's hear it.
Okay. Pete Gass is one of the legit good guys I know in the business. Looking at the Lights is an easy read with honest stories of friendship and perseverance. He's living proof of what can happen when the door of opportunity is opened up just a crack. And just like Gass, you can kick it open and strut through the other side, sweater vest and dumb haircut optional. I was going to say it's way too nice. Where is it? Okay, there it is.
You got to throw that dig in. You just wait for it.
You love it. You loved it.
I did.
All right, guys. Well, we'll let you go to work now. And
thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Catch up soon, buddy.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
So that's Pete Gass, everybody. The Gas Man. Aptly named, apparently.
Yeah, he's steak. So steak.
Such a beater.
Yeah, he's a good dude, though. I was
great guy.
To Pete Gass. So, it's cool that his book is getting some well-deserved love. People
is it getting rave reviews, Jay?
I think so.
Yeah, have you been looking at the rave reviews? Where have you been looking that up?
I've been looking on the Pete Gass book message boards, and they're lighting up. They're lighting up as we speak.
Yeah.
So
So that was the Gas Man. Now on to the man who will be facing Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire.
Yep.
It's a stack show today, Edge. Oh, we have no time to talk in between these. We got to get right to our next guest, Samoa Joe.
I'm taking the pack out of the bag, and he's like, what the fuck is that thing? It's like technology, son. Technology.
It was like a Mission Impossible scene in here. Just putting shit together. And
I was strapping
things, crawling underneath, putting wires, and planting bugs.
I was like, Joe, hold the end of this bungee cord. I got to tie it off on the other side.
Planting bugs. Never mind. He's creepy, man. He's in your soul now.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's in my chair. I'm telling you right now.
Who comes into a dude's house and takes his chair?
I'm in his chair right now, man. Like, I mean, it's comfy. I saw it.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying it's a bad thing that you know, there's one chair in the house that the guy sits in. You can tell because the ass crack is embedded in it. Mm-hmm. That's the chair you don't sit in.
Well, he did it. It was great. I was sitting in it when this all started. Then he hypnotized me, asked me to hold the cord. And then he did this little dance around me somehow, some way.
Can you glue this together and use your spit to use? Yeah, and then took your seat.
And then I rolled in. I was like, man, this is pretty comfortable. And I'm a vet, you know. I've kind of been in the business longer than you, brother. Can I just it's kind of like offering your first class seat to an older worker, brother.
Do you remember it might have been going to Saskatchewan, and was it I had a first class seat and Road Warrior Animal didn't. And I was like, Joe, here, take this. I'm not sitting up there. There's no way I'm sitting up there. Yep.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
Legion of Doom sitting in a middle seat. Come on. So just to bring everybody up to speed, Jay is sitting at Samoa Joe's house, at Joe's house right now. Mm-hmm. Took his chair, and I'm up here in North Carolina, but it's like we're in the same room.
Yeah, almost.
And my flip-flops are off.
Yeah, where'd your shoes go, man?
I don't know, man. This carpet feels nice on my feet.
So you didn't wear socks?
No, man. It's Florida.
Like, I'm not saying you wear socks with flip-flops, but usually if you're a guest, you at least wear some shoes and socks, dude.
Well, sometimes Canadian style is to wear like those gray work socks with flip-flops or sandals.
Well, what I love is that, like, traditionally, if you were going to take off your shoes, you do it at the door. You managed to walk through my entire house with your dirty flip-flops, and then you came up to my office, and you took them off. And now you're running your toes through my carpet, sitting in my chair.
Like, doubly defiled everything.
Yeah.
That's respect.
Yeah. So you're in Joe's office and you sat in his chair?
Yeah, it's a comfy chair.
Like in the office even. Like we're not talking just like a sitting room or something. What does the matter with you, man?
It's a media room, so it's multi-purpose.
Okay.
Here.
And it's much we discussed in the earlier conversation. It's like when the vet doesn't have a first class ticket, and the guy younger than him is like, hey, well, it feels bad for him. Here, take my first class ticket, brother.
Yeah,
brother.
I didn't think there. Yeah, I mean, it's a rarity that there's anybody like that in my life anymore. I'm glad you still exist.
Yeah. Joe and Michelle.
Wait, who would there be? Who would there be?
I don't know.
Let's actually go through that roll call. I'm intrigued now. Gold Dust.
Yeah.
He's grizzled.
Yeah, I'd do it anyway.
Kurt.
Really, Kurt?
Grum
started before Kurt.
Kane.
Yeah,
Kane.
Kurt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you and Kurt are neck and neck, right?
Kind of. He just seems like he's more. His grizzled factor is a little higher than mine.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That's funny.
So what's new, man?
Not too much, man. Just getting ready to do this thing.
What? I haven't heard. What are you doing?
Oh, this thing called wrestling.
Oh, yeah?
Do it every once in a while.
Oh man, no, I mean obviously this coming Sunday you have a huge match with Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
And I mean it's cool for me to see because we've been friends for a long time.
Yes, we have.
And I've been through a lot together.
Yep.
Even previous to WWE and TNA.
I was your midwife.
You were.
I appreciate that. It's a big honor for me.
Yeah, and for you for my kids now to see you on TV.
It's just
choking people out.
There's that special bond there.
Yeah, there is.
I know sometimes she touches the screen.
Yeah,
I feel it. I feel it.
Joe. But no, it's cool for me to see the journey that you've taken, and it's kind of a really an unconventional road in some sense.
Yeah.
That it took you a while to get here. You've been everywhere. Kind of the same thing as AJ. We've seen him kind of go to all these different places and be on top of different promotions and things like that, and then finally get to WWE. And it's taking a long time, but it seems like it was the right time for you to get here. And now to see you kind of in the ring, sharing space with a guy like Brock Lesnar and holding your own and stepping up is pretty huge, and it's got to feel good to show that you belong there.
It feels great. Brock's, obviously he's one of the top drawing guys in combat sports, if not, sports entertainment. So, he was always in my sights, especially even before I came to WWE. I was up in my head like that there, I think, is a matchup that a lot of people want to see. And, fortunately for us, so far, it feels like, that is the case.
Jay said it took a while for you to get there, but that was by choice, right? Because if I'm watching what you're doing, I'm like, okay, this guy's clearly choosing what he wants to do, and it just seems like that it wasn't. I don't know, I could be wrong, but it didn't seem like you thought it was time yet.
It was choice and opportunity. I mean, I think equal parts. I know when I first, even probably my second year in the business, I was scouted by Jim Ross and Gerald Briscoe and guys like that would come down and check out. It was a developmental affiliate in California. And, I was kind of given a straight up answer like, hey, you're not really what we're looking for right now. We think you're a great wrestler, but, there's just no opportunities right now. And it kind of made it easier for me to decide what to do. And, obviously, Japan was a big option when I first started. And I mean, now is a huge option for a lot of guys. So I focused all my efforts there. And then I kind of was part of some cool stuff that started up on the East Coast of America. And, yeah, I mean, I guess, it's just like I said, it was equal parts kind of having good working relationships with other companies and just, when the opportunities, if they were there, it didn't really coincide with when I was off contract. So the timing never really worked out.
Let me ask you a question. Like when you said that, they told you that, you weren't what they were looking for at that time. Is that something when you hear that it's almost like deflating, or is it more like it drove you more to go out and do your thing and to kind of, maybe prove them wrong in a sense, but put a little chip on your shoulder that you were, in fact, good enough to be, on a stage big enough as WWE's.
A little bit of a chip, but I think more it kind of told me, okay, like it just made the path a lot clearer, more so than like I was like kind of driven by spite and I was going to show them. Like my goal wasn't to show them. My goal was to like do this for a living. Like I love doing it, and I was kind of way more concerned with like doing this professionally and paying my bills as a wrestler than, I'm going to show WWE a thing or two. Like, it really wasn't that. So, like I said, it was like I heard, the interest wasn't there and this is, like I said, I was probably two years in the business, which I think, if there is interest there, you're one of the very, very few and the very, very fortunate. So,
yeah.
It, like, to me, it wasn't a big knock because I was like, I still was learning how to wrestle.
Right. And at that point, too, like, 2 years in, you might think that you're ready to be at that spot, but you're really not at 2 years.
It's funny. Like I like at 3 or 4 years, I was pretty sure I knew everything about everything, like the business, how things work, like what people want to see and what people don't want to see. And then I think I had worked with Regal at the time and had like discussion with him, and those discussions blew my mind because it was like I don't know the first thing about the actual business aspect of this or what people really want. So it was pretty cool.
You said that the West Coast kind of affiliate for, or farm system for WWE at that point. What was it called again?
UPW. In fact, that's where I met you guys
the
first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys used to come down and like raid Oakley's from stores. Like, I remember you guys used to go down to Black Fly's headquarters and just like a bunch of scavengers just go in there like, we are stars on cable television. I'm like, give me all your eyewear.
I swear
I wore those Black Flies until like last year. I still had Black Flies.
I was like, that's every time I saw you wear a pair, I was dying. I was just like, those were stolen from a warehouse in Costa Mesa.
But if you look back at that, because I saw a picture fairly recently, and it's like we were in there because we worked Frankie and
Daniels.
Who else?
No, it wasn't Daniels. It was Frankie and
Nova.
Yeah.
Nova. Frankie and Nova.
Beans.
So they're there.
Yeah.
You're there. Cena's there. I think Victoria's there. Like all in this one shot spread out. And it's like, man, like just to see.
I mean, there was Nathan Jones, Heidenreich.
Really?
Yeah, there was a ton of guys there that inevitably kind of went on. Mike Knox was
Wow.
there. I mean, a lot of guys came out of there and either ended up working in WWE or kind of going on to other things. Tom Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a guy that was kind of proverbially on and off the roster.
Yeah.
And really good too. So I mean, it was pretty good. Sylvester Stergay.
Wow. Yeah, there was
really
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. Yeah, I just remember seeing that recently, and I obviously you jumped out, and John and Victoria, and I mean, I knew we were in there, but it kind of blew my mind a little bit. Yeah. Just because at that point we were oblivious, as to what everybody was about to do. I'd like to think we weren't jerks, but besides stealing sunglasses,
you actually, you guys are pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool.
Except for the whole hey, where do we get more of these sunglasses thing? That was a little much. We went down to Southern California. We stole all the sunglasses, those marks.
Oh man, I probably still have some too. I'm gonna have to. I
guarantee you both probably have like 4 pairs in like a box in the attic.
I did. I actually just found a purple pair not long ago. Yeah.
Did you really?
I did. Yeah. So they feel kind of heavy now, though.
Yeah.
They were like, I put them on, and they're like, whoa, these are heavy. Like things have changed.
Yeah, they were chunky.
Like high carbon fiber on your head now.
Yeah. Only certain materials allowed to touch this face.
Of course, as you fly to Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
It got derailed there. Sorry.
Yeah. A little inside.
So you go, like you said, East Coast. So you're talking like Ring of Honor, and you really started to cut your teeth there, right?
Yeah. Ring of Honor was like, it was this really hot, indie promotion at the time, and really it kind of filled the void in the Northeast that ECW kind of left. But it wasn't a hardcore wrestling promotion per se. It was much more about just kind of in-ring acumen and just kind of straight up wrestling, and a lot of Japanese influence, obviously, a lot of luchador influence. I mean, it was really an internationally influenced style of wrestling, and I kind of got there, and that was it's funny. Every opportunity I've ever had has kind of always been a one-off. It's never been like, oh, we can't wait to have you here. It's always like, we'll give them a go, and it's probably going to be one time, and that was the case in Ring of Honor. I mean, I was brought in for literally one match that they had seen me do at a tournament in Northern California called King of Indies, and it was against Low Key, and then we did the match there, and then it was like after we were done with that, they're like, oh, well, you're booked every month, and you're here forever, and kind of went from there.
So they were only running once a month at that point.
Yeah. And then it slowly like ramped up to 2 times every weekend. And then we're doing full weekends, 3 shows a week.
Yeah,
which is pretty impressive for an indie.
And it's funny. I don't know why this just reminded me of this, but it's funny now you look at it like with Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all these social media platforms. I remember the first time, like before I even met you, I somehow, and this was like when the internet was kind of still, I don't want to say in its infancy, but it was still kind of growing and developing and getting bigger. And blogs were all the rage at the time. Yeah. And I remember stumbling upon you were doing like a weekly blog thing. And I don't know how I stumbled on it, but like I kind of got hooked. And every week I'd be like, oh, I wonder what Joe's doing. Like almost like I knew you already. And I'd read your I'd read your LiveJournal like every week. Yeah. How did you I swear to God,
my LiveJournal.
Yeah.
So God. I swear, if I had my gun, I'd kick you out of my house right now. It's so creepy.
Just don't throw me out with my flip-flops.
Yeah, don't worry.
How did I not know that?
Yeah.
How did I not even know that creepy aspect
known each
about
other
you?
this long and this deep, dark secret's just now surfacing?
How is it a deep, dark secret? You put it out there. Obviously, you wanted people to read it.
Yeah,
you should be happy that I read it.
I am.
Yeah.
You like my current moods?
Yeah.
Oh, he's feeling sassy today.
Oh, what? He's listening to Santeria today. Oh, my goodness.
That was actually one. Jesus. It's the truth. Yeah.
Practice Santeria.
And that was funny. That was one of those things where, like, I get bored when I come back from shows and, like, the adrenaline's so flowing. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm doing it. And, like, I just write off the top of my head. And, well, yeah, a lot of that stuff was, I think it's still up.
Is it really?
Yeah, you can probably see how just absolutely self-absorbed I was back then.
Maybe that'll be a new bit on our show. We read Joe's live journals.
Yeah, old live journals.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That could be a new segment.
That's funny. So, like, did you just find that as, like, a way to kind of just, like you said, just blowing off steam or just trying to
I was literally trying to get to sleep just because I knew I had to work in the morning. So,
Did you find any, like, kind of, like, with that sort of thing, like, any, like, did it help with your, like, when you were going to shows, like, people kind of felt like they knew you a little bit, or a connection with, like, fans, or, like, merchandise wise, or whatever it was that you were doing at shows, or even with promoters? Did that kind of help at all in that sense?
Oddly enough, promoters a lot of the time. Like, a lot of times promoters be like, oh yeah, I read your stuff and it's cool, and that was funny. I don't know. A lot of it was I guess was anecdotal too. So it was like just weird, funny stories, or like sometimes just dumb, long diatribes about whatever, like.
Yeah, I don't want to. Actually, I printed them all off. I have them in a binder at my house
with a dot matrix printer.
Yeah, with a
on dial-up.
Yeah. I wrote memories on the cover, and it's a bathroom reader that I put in my front room.
Yeah. Memories of Joe.
Yeah. Was it around that time that you started to really feel like you were hitting your groove in the ring? Because you were working like guys like Kobashi and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like when I started working, and even prior to Ring of Honor, I had started in Japan. That was like really my first kind of real gig, was with 01. And touring over there and working with like Hashimoto and Masato Tanaka is like, still, I mean, he's amazing. Like if I find it's a shame that like he doesn't get as much credit for being like really, really amazing in the ring as he is. And like him, Shinjiro Otani, like I worked with all those guys. So when I came into Ring of Honor, I kind of had some big match experience behind me and been in bigger shows and pay-per-views and stuff. So like Ring of Honor was kind of like where, I was allowed to kind of do my thing and flourish and take things in creative directions that we wanted to. And me and Gabe Sapolsky worked pretty close together, kind of mapping out like this 2-year championship run that we ended up doing. All culminating in, when I dropped the title to Aries. So yeah, I mean, it was just like creatively and kind of experimentally, it was a real cool time because, I pretty much got to do whatever I thought was cool, and most of it worked out.
Yeah, that's and it's interesting you said too, because like in Japan, I'm guessing you didn't have like the creative vision, or at least the outlet to have that creative vision seen through. But you said with Gabe, you had that opportunity.
Yeah.
How'd that, does that feel good to know that they have that investment in you?
Oh, absolutely. I think anybody who works in an environment where, you might have a vision and your vision pretty much coincides with what, the booker wants. It's rare. Extremely rare,
very rare.
But when it very rare. But when those things do coincide, like 9 times out of 10, it's usually something pretty great. So I know, I mean, I would have never said like hey, I'd be undefeated for 2 years, but like Gabe was adamant about it. He really, really wanted to kind of bring a lot of prestige to the belt and kind of have it seen in that light. And it at the end, it pretty much worked out. I mean, people were really, really about the product. The fan base grew exponentially, and they're still going today. I mean, if there's any testament, it's that they're still probably. I mean, they're older than WCW. They're older than TNA. Or GFW, whatever they're called now, and they've lasted the test of time. They're still going strong.
Well, that was the first time that it really, it hit. Pardon me. That it hit my radar, because you'd hear it or whatever, but that's when I really started hearing about it. That's when I really started paying attention to this groundswell that was happening.
And like, it wasn't just me. It was, you had, Daniel Ryan, you had Punk, you had Austin Aries, Roddy Strong. You had all these guys, kind of the Briscoes, who are still kind of, cornerstones there. You just had this like real big collection of guys who were young, hungry. AJ, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian. You had all these guys who were just young, hungry, really, really
stacked roster. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, these guys would kind of inevitably dictate the future of the industry in general. And it was a really cool time. It was a really cool locker room. It's kind of, you're a part of something bigger than yourself. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think too with shows like that, when you have sort of at that time very like sort of a niche kind of product, right? Like fans feel like they're onto something that nobody else knows about. Absolutely. It's kind of their secret, their thing. That was the
appeal.
And that was, the kind of like that underground feel to it. Like, these are our guys, this is our show, like only we know about it, and it's like kind of cool in that sense, right?
Yeah. Oh, and that was totally they understood their niche too, which is something that I thought was always a big strength, was that they never kind of outkicked their coverage, I guess, for lack of a better term. They always knew exactly who their audience was, and they catered to their audience, and their audience was strong. It was highly supportive, and it was a niche audience. It's not your general Joe average on the street audience, but it's a fan base that's very passionate and was more than willing to support the product. So for us, it made it even better tenfold, because like, you're not only do you have these fans, but you have these fans who are fully invested in the style and the people at the company. So it just makes it a blast, a great environment to work in.
Well, it's interesting to see too, guys like Bryan Danielson and kind of come up and eventually start to incorporate that style and make it become more of a mainstream WWE style, because before that you didn't see a whole lot of that within the WWE, and now with guys like AJ you're seeing more of that style. Do you think it comes from that crop of guys that help kind of push it and make it what it is today in terms of WWE kind of adapting to it?
Without a doubt. I don't think you can't help but realize that's kind of where you see all that influence come from. Because there's guys out there now that are doing things that we did kind of back in the day, and it's funny because, and I think you guys can kind of attest to this. Like, sometimes you see things being done now, and you're like, oh, either hey, that we kind of brought that into the scene, or it's like, oh my God, we're responsible for that. So
it's evolved into something different.
Yeah, it's evolved into something different.
Yeah,
and honestly, I think looking back now, there's always going to be a new thing. There's always going to be a next thing and a new style to incorporate. So, and which is good, because as long as it's evolving and as long as different things are kind of being incorporated, it's always going to be fresh and new.
Well, yeah, and that's an evolution of Sean and Brett, which is an evolution of, Rick and, who's an evolution of Buddy Rogers, so yeah, it all goes back, but it's just interesting to see it kind of becoming what it's becoming, where a guy like, Brian can work his way to the top of the card.
Yep. And
which it's just, Sean getting there is one thing, but Brian's a lot smaller than Sean. So it's breaking down even more barriers that were there.
And he's a lot different of a character than Sean. Like he, honestly, in no disrespect to him, but if you would have pitched him on paper, I don't think you would have got it until you see him in the ring and see what he's able to do, and then it becomes very clear and apparent. That's that kind of undescribable and tangible, and I think that style definitely helped him create that.
I don't even think the WWE would have ever gotten it if the audience didn't finally get it to the proportions that they got it. Where Michigan State or the Spartans or whoever it was, and entire crowds on ESPN are chanting yes and everything. I think it was that forced it. But enough about him. He's not on the show. Damn it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Who did he ever beat?
Actually, I put him over once. So.
And he's a nice guy, so what the hell. But so out of all that time there, what series of matches, or what opponent do you, I know this is kind of like one of those loaded questions, but who do you think you had the best chemistry with, I guess is the best way to put it?
In ROH, it'd probably be it'd either be Punk or Homicide. Obviously me and Punk had some pretty good matches back in the day. But, I think consistently a guy who I worked more was probably Homicide. So it's like, you know what it is? It's a guy that you have that special match with, which you don't work as much, but, the matches are special. Then there's this other guy who you work a lot.
Yeah.
You just kind of have an innate chemistry with. So it'd probably be between the two.
Yeah, I think, too, like, even with, thinking about it, too, I haven't seen a ton of your matches with Homicide, but, I mean, thinking about it, the dynamic, sometimes the different dynamic will make a match, too, right? Like, you're this big, ass-kicking, straight ahead.
Keep going.
Guy.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
Don't even switch over to him.
And he's like this, he's a smaller but almost street smart guy.
Yeah.
That is kind of rough around the edges and
now you're starting to sweat.
And, but I mean, it's a good dynamic, right? Like sometimes things like that, just the total opposite styles works.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm this big, great conqueror, awesome man that destroys all, like you said earlier.
Yeah, is that what I said?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's pretty much what you said, Jay.
Yeah. Probably the greatest you've ever seen. And Homicide, who's he's got his street tactics, as you put it.
Yeah. Tomfoolery.
Yeah. So it does. It makes a nice contrast. It works out well. No, yeah, and he's really aggressive and like he doesn't give an inch, despite the size and he goes out there and he puts on he lays it all out. So that's why, like, with him, like I said, I probably worked him the most and I was feuding with him the most, and he always made it interesting and always made it fun. Street tactics.
Yeah. That's Adam Gone still right there.
No, I'm still kind of stunned.
About the Conqueror.
Well, I love the fact that you probably were sweating.
Well, it's hot in here, man.
You probably started sweating, and we were like, "Oh man, what did I just say? Did that offend anyone?"
Why? What did I say? I was putting them over. How would that offend anybody?
I know.
You guys are getting into one of your arguments right now.
Gosh.
I love it.
Yeah, thanks.
It happens every week. We go through the ways that we want to hurt each other.
Yeah.
The
only thing that probably would make this episode better is if Rhino showed up. And
my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Rhino.
So anyways, long story short, and
we don't have 6 hours
later
to do a podcast to get through one of his stories.
Jesus.
Anyways.
So hot.
Yeah. You used to like watching me talk to Rhino.
This is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah. Just berate him. Maybe you should tell people how a conversation with me and Rhino went.
Yeah, like a conversation between you and Rhino is like, there's a point at which I'm like, Rhino has to fist fight you. like he,
or just eat him or something.
Yeah, really. Like he's a saint of a man. Great dude, but like, I don't know what it is about you and him. Like, it's just bad. It's just, he says 3 words and I've never seen you get so angry. So like, he'll be like, "Hey Jay, what's going on?" And like your brow creases and you get pissed, and next thing you know, you're just waiting for him to say a 4th word so you can jump down his throat.
Yeah. And then he laughs. "Oh, come on, bro."
Yeah, and he laughs you off, and that makes you even more pissed. And it's just this vicious cycle where like you go hypercritical, and then he walks off smiling, going, he's crazy.
Yeah.
That was a good Rhino laugh too. And
Rhinos.
Meanwhile, Rhino could, like, you would be the first course in Rhino's meal.
He would,
No, he couldn't take me.
Fold you in half.
No, he wouldn't. I'm too smart for him.
Too smart.
Yeah. I would talk him into punching himself out.
That's how it would play out, actually. Yeah. Sadly, that's the way it would play out. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is good times, guys.
Now, and here, okay, so this is a brilliant segue that I tried to force in before, but I'm going to do it again. So you would have first encountered that relationship while you were both in TNA. Boom.
Right.
Oh.
I was going to go, once you decided you were too good for Ring of Honor and you moved to TNA. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. So that's where I met both of you guys. I guess was in TNA, and it was funny. TNA actually put out a few offers before I was to go over there, and one of them was I was going to be Johnny Fairplay's bodyguard, and they were going to call me Reality Joe.
Wow. Wow.
And
now I'm starting to sweat.
But but the thing was, I was ROH champion at the time, and like honestly, like I'm a firm believer in a bit of loyalty. ROH did nothing but good by me, and they're really adamant. No, you have to drop the title, leave right now. You can never work for them again. And the deal they initially offered me was really not worth dropping anything. So I was like, thank you, but no thank you. And there was another offer, and then I think it came around the time when they had actually left Fox Sports, and they were looking for new TV, which would inevitably land them up on Spike. And I was called and I was told, hey, we want to bring you in. We don't care about you working in ROH, but he goes, I think it was Scott D'Amore. He goes, yeah, we think that you'll be good to for the internet crowd.
He must have read your blog.
Yeah, must have read my blog.
Yeah.
Real big fan. He's like, yeah,
crowd.
You'd be good for that. It was like it was talked about like a pariah, like a bunch of lepers in a colony for that internet crowd. And the offer was
with air quotes.
Better. Yeah, with air quotes. The offer was a lot better. So I started in TNA and kind of took off from there.
Huh. Yeah, then you guys actually, I think the match that I think most people remember from your run there is obviously the triple threat match with you, AJ, and Daniels.
Yeah. That was I think it was at a time when AJ had, but like the X division, I guess, was kind of was being formed, and it was AJ, it was Chris, it was myself, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Sanjay, and it was the first time I think that the X Division title match had got to be the main event, which was like, I remember at the time was kind of a big deal because, the story was, I guess, that, we never got an opportunity. It was always Jeff on top, Jeff Jarrett on top with whoever, or, whatever ex-WCW guy on top. So it was like the first chance that kind of TNA homegrown guys got to be the main event. And we went out there and, kind of put it together. I worked with both those guys like forever and a day, and we all knew each other's stuff like the back of our hand, and it was just kind of came together the way it did, and people dug it, so it was cool.
You mentioned it briefly there. Was that like a general feeling there, like when WCW guys or WWF guys would come in, Jay, that like what was there like a little bit of frustration there?
Okay, so like. There was, but it was not with the guys. It wasn't really with the boys.
Yeah.
Like it was more like an internal battle going on with where because it was like booking committee back then. So there were certain people that thought TNA should be about this, and other people that thought TNA should be about that. So it was like they're creating this friction, and then like for me, I looked at it at a business standpoint, like. The way that the contracts worked, it wasn't incentivized that if I was at the top of the card, I got paid more. It wasn't. It was just working the main was the same as working the first match on the show. So I was like, hey, listen, it's awesome to be featured and it's awesome to be at the forefront of the biggest program. But I'm like, from a business standpoint, I don't give a damn. Like, I'm not going to get paid anymore.
Just put me where it's going to be the most fun.
Yeah, and it kind of was that attitude because it was like there was no incentivization to be the main event or to really. Like push that agenda or show up at TV and be ready to slug it out to get that spot done because it was just known like they were not going to pay you any more than they're going to pay you. I mean this is what you got. So obviously we always petitioned for it and we were always ready for it, and they knew we were ready for it. So it wasn't like we didn't try as hard. I mean we did want to be that spot, but it wasn't like if we weren't, it was like we're getting screwed out of this and that because like. From a monetary standpoint, we weren't. It was just, it was more of a passion thing than a financial thing.
Man, I think, speaking from my end on that, when I went there, I never got the sense from anybody that there was that feeling towards me anyway.
Yeah.
And,
we all hit it pretty good.
To your face.
Yeah. Really, we'd have meetings, and
So is that,
we had like a little bird call if you come around. Like,
I mean,
like we know that you're coming.
Yeah, and then well, you must know my nickname was the Birdman.
Yeah,
the Jaybird call.
Yeah.
And then my bag went missing like 10 times, 11 times. But that's normal, right?
Yeah. Well, Eric Young told you it was the monkey dog because he steals bags and smokes.
No, but honestly, I never got that feeling. But it was cool for me too it was cool for me to work with, all you guys too, and AJ and I got to do some stuff together as a unit, which was fun.
It was really funny too. Like you guys played well off each other.
Yeah, no, I think that in a weird way too, it kind of helped like AJ, get comfortable with talking and doing promos and stuff like that, and you can see where he's at today. I'm not saying that that's all my doing, but I think that
you can toot it. It's all you, Jay.
I'm not saying it's all me, but
you open the
okay, guys. I write all his promos and send them to him. But so then,
I will say, in watching, that was the first time that I saw. I was like, oh wait, okay, he's not just this guy who can do anything physically. He actually has some charisma and personality too.
And he was like, when we were doing that stuff, he was stealing scenes. Like he was that funny when he was doing stuff. So and then going on, like I had I think it was like a Bound for Glory somewhere. Was it Atlanta? I think it was.
Might have been,
when they were taking them on the road a little bit. And it's funny that you mentioned that you had like this undefeated streak, because I kind of had one when I came into TNA for
thanks for reminding everybody
for like a year. I had to put myself over, man. But no,
you and I were
the
humble brag too.
But you and I did a little program, and then we had a match, and that was where like I was adamant that I wanted you to be the guy that beat me, and I remember that day.
You're like, if anybody's going to beat me, it's going to be the best damn guy here.
Yeah,
and I was like,
and since he's not available, it's going to be Joe. So. No, but I remember that match being really good from what I remember, and I also remember walking in the building that day, and you had no idea what was even going on.
Yeah,
and I just walked up and I was like, "Well, what do you want to do?" You're like, "I don't know. What are we doing?" I said, "Do you want to choke me or pin me?" And you're like, "I'll choke you." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, that sprung to my head. Rogan, no, I'll choke you.
Yeah. So, but it was, but no, I mean, and then I knew from that first kind of program that we had that you were. I'd always appreciated you anyway, just because you didn't look prototypical of, you know what I mean? You had your own thing going on, your own look.
I'm so goddamn handsome.
You're handsome. You don't sweat.
No, never. True. Yeah.
And but especially after getting in there with you, I was like, this guy's legit. Like he can be, he can be a top star in the business, and I really felt that, especially after we had that match, and especially when you were motivated to go out there and just to kind of almost with that chip on your shoulder, and go out there and steal a show or just do your thing, that you were different. You had that little different dynamic.
You were around for a few of those moments. Like, oh, what? Really? Okay.
Yeah. So, but so I'm not surprised where you're at now, but that was the feeling that I got when we worked together then.
Yeah. And I thought, like, despite what everybody said, you're pretty good too.
Decent hand.
Yeah, just hell of a guy.
he's okay. He's right in there for an old fella.
Yeah, he's an unsung hero. Let me tell you, only people knew.
Everybody's got those unsung heroes.
Yeah. It's best that way.
Yeah. So, was there any point that you felt like, okay, I'm spinning my wheels here now? It's time to get traction somewhere else.
I think towards the end. I mean, obviously towards the end of my last contract with TNA, and honestly, like for the 9 years I was there, like we did really great business. Like they did good by me, and we were straight, and I have no qualms about the business I did in TNA, and I can't thank them enough. I mean, they helped pay for my house, and the chair that Jay's sitting in,
it's a nice chair.
And sweating in now, by the way.
Yeah, just this beautiful Angora carpet that he's running his toes through. I mean, thank you, TNA. That's all you. But yeah, it's just. Sorry, Gary. But yeah, towards the end, just creatively, I was in a rut, and I didn't see really any new opportunities kind of opening up for me to do something. And, and even when I came home, I think, my family was just like, you don't seem like you're really as into it when you go to work as you used to be. And the truth was, I really wasn't. And it was becoming toxic in the sense that I wasn't happy. And before I would let that kind of spread and spread in the company and hurt them, I felt it was best just to kind of cut ties and try something new and roll the dice and see what would happen. And I left.
It's funny because, speaking of that, you and I had some conversations around that time. We
yes,
went
we
up
did.
for a couple, for some food and to hang out and talk a little bit and almost be just like a sounding board. But I remember, just kind of like listening to you talk and didn't really have to say anything. I think you just needed to bounce it off somebody, right?
Yeah,
just to kind of like, even just to reaffirm the things that you were thinking were.
I wasn't crazy.
Yeah. So it was. I got the sense that too, and we've had this conversation with other people where sometimes, it's tough to leave a situation where it's comfortable, almost. I don't want to say easy, but it's familiar. It's that it's like a glove that fits, right?
Yeah, you know what to expect.
Sometimes you need to bet on yourself and take the step off that ledge a little bit to the unknown, and sometimes too, like you talk about how WWE said back in the day that you're not what we're looking for right now, so that itch is always there to scratch, right? Like you at some point that it's now or never, and I think that seemed like the time for you where you were ready to take it. And there wasn't really like a solid offer, if I'm right, from WWE when you stepped into NXT.
When I left TNA, I had literally no offers on the table. Some came in very quickly, and it was cool, and there was work. But I remember when, the day I decided, I think I talked to you, and I think a week later I made my decision, and or actually a few days afterwards I made my decision. And I think I also told you that if it doesn't work out, that I'm living in your pool house. But
I was like, as long as you bring your carpet
and your chair
and this chair.
You told me to do this. And shortly thereafter, and a lot of it, has to go with just working with great people that remember you and go to bat for you. And a lot of guys did. And it started with Paul Heyman and you and Regal and Road Dogg and Joey Mercury. I mean, there was a lot of people who got in Hunter's ear. And I think, it just got to the point where he's just like, all right, well, Jesus, I'll take a meeting with the guy. Like, shut up about him already. I got stuff to do. And the meeting went well. And it was kind of laid out to me, and I started in NXT.
Yeah, and I think sometimes too that you might think, okay, this might work out, and I think from a perspective of, in a creative sense, or from the people kind of calling the shots, sort of thing, the office, if you will, that we might have something here, but then when you came out and you got the reaction that you got the first time you stepped out and you had this presence, you had this aura, and you went out and you did your thing, and it was so well received, and it's like, oh, this is what we got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like it takes you to get out there in front of their crowd on their stage to really kind of see it. And that's kind of what it seemed was the kind of launching pad for you, and kind of just what you needed. So, the risk that you took stepping away kind of started to pay off.
And I think I'm not a nervous at the curtain guy ever.
Yep.
I'll do stuff to get kind of pumped up.
Right.
It's literally it's not. I'm not trying to snap my nerves. Like, I'm trying to pump myself up to realize, all right, wake up. It's time to go. People who see me at the curtain usually are like, until he gets serious, he's pretty much just like, but that was honestly probably outside of maybe the first couple matches in my life, walking out there for NXT was one of the few times I was actually really just felt nerves, which I really hadn't felt in forever.
It's kind of a good thing, though.
It was great. No, it was it had been so long since I felt that tickle in the spine that it kind of got the adrenaline going again, and then that endorphin rush, and it's it kind of reminded me wow, I remember when it was like this every time I walked through the curtain, I remember when it was like this when I was out there, and it really got in my head, and it was just it was a shot of energy,
Well, you talked about, 9 years in one place. That can go away because, like Jay said, you even though everybody works backstage and you have all those relationships and it becomes almost like a friendship, but to it's a new relationship, and now you have to impress these new people, and you have to, prove it to yourself again almost. And that's got to be exciting. I never got that opportunity because, I kind of did indies and then rolled right into WWF. And I always wondered what that felt like what it would have felt like to go to WCW or something back then. I mean, it's got to feel friggin' great.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird adrenaline rush that like being able to like recapture that. Like it says it is rare because like if you kind of stay what you're doing and you're where you're at, it does start to go away a little bit. And to kind of come into like a real foreign environment with a lot of high expectations and not a lot of guarantees is something that like I had not done in 9 years. Like there always was a guarantee there. There was always an established fan base. There was always, I knew what to expect from the people that I worked with, and I knew what to expect from, whoever was booking at the time. Like, you have these innate instincts, and then coming to NXT, it's like, first of all, it's a big experiment unto itself. So it's like they're trying to do things differently and trying new things and new ways of doing entrances. I mean, they're trying new camera angles and production things. I mean, it's still a big experiment. They still will run things down there just to see how it'll work, and then eventually you'll see it up on the main roster. So just all the newness and the freshness and like being able to kind of like start from scratch perceptually was like really, really cool. And like I said, after that little tinge of nervousness, I was just like, man, it's been a while since I felt like this. And it's even now, I mean, it's still relatively new, and it's still fun, and just being a part of the big machine and how it works and all the cogs kind of fit together. It's crazy.
Well, I was going to say, did you have that same feeling coming from NXT to WWE, even though it's under the same umbrella? Yeah, but just more from like just. It's like for me it wasn't as nerve-wracking. It was just more like, hey, wow, like here we are finally. Yeah.
And it's not as glamorous because I'm shoved under a ring for the better part of a show, sitting there with the production guy, sipping water,
sipping
a small monitor. Like, and, you're under there for a while. Like they hid me under there for a while, so it's like I'm doing sit-ups and Pilates and talking about baseball games and stuff. Oh wow, your wife's into needlepoint. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Because they have a guy down there with you, right? Just to kind of. I don't know what he does. He just kind of sits there and looks at you and holds the monitor.
I think to make sure you don't fall asleep.
It has to be it.
And miss your spot.
Because I'll tell you one thing. Like after a while, there I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep. This is like the banging that's going on in your head. It becomes kind of rhythmic and nice. It's like
that's funny. Man.
Yeah, it wasn't like I had like a real glamorous entrance where I was waiting in gorilla and I looked over my shoulder and I winked at Vince and he winked back at me. I'm
he gave you the big thumbs
up. Sitting on a spool of rope with a 6-inch monitor staring me in the face, blinding me.
That's funny. The funny thing is too, like we talked about before, there's kind of an opportunity for kind of even like dream matches, so to speak, where fans like now they're seeing matches where they might necessarily thought they would ever see them, like matches with you and Nakamura, for instance, in NXT. How did you feel about the matches that you had with him?
I thought they were great. I mean, so Nakamura was a guy who, when he first started in the wrestling business, I was working for Nokia at a certain point. We ran the first LA dojo, and he had come over kind of as a young boy, and he was like this special project. Like he was gonna shoot fight and he was gonna do pro wrestling. So he had to learn both. So it's like either I or sometimes Brian or somebody else that we would drive him to all these different MMA camps, Raw Center with Rico Chaparelli and Frank Trigg, or we'd drive him to kickboxing places or in boxing gyms and let him train and then bring him back, and then we'd work pro wrestling with him. And then he always had like a really like cool personality and a very different way of looking at things, especially for comparatively speaking to a lot of the other Japanese guys that had come over. Like he just had a real like innate cool sense and had different ideas about things. And then I remember like I was working in TNA at the time. I remember like I started hearing about Shinsuke having all these great matches, and then I saw the character and everything, and like it just kind of, it didn't surprise me a bit. I mean, He's that charismatic. You know?
Different breed of cat.
Way different breed of cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that.
And loves to surf.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Really? A Japanese surfer.
Like on the NXT tour, I think every city that had a coast, he'd like immediately get off the tour bus, sneak out, rent a board, and even if it was like 20 minutes, he'd get out there and like catch a couple and like run back, change, and head to the show. I mean, he really loved surfing, and he took every chance that he could when he was in Australia.
That's crazy.
Well, I remember when I first, even in the midst of the Nakamura matches and everything, watching you come out, and I've been I've been shouting your praises and touting your virtues for a little while now, and just in terms of
we should hang out
this guy's different.
You
really should. I mean, yeah. I'm just saying.
He's waving it off and saying you did.
But you're just different. You're different than what has been seen there. And immediately I was like, okay, he's got to work Taker. At some point here, there's got to be a Mania match with Taker. And obviously I don't think that's going to be in the offing. But the other guy I thought was Brock. And I think that's kind of a no-brainer. But there's not many guys on the roster that, with the way Brock is booked right now, that can believably step into that slot and go, okay, man, this is going to be cool. Because I said it on the show like 3 weeks ago. I was like, that to me is a WrestleMania main event, you and Brock. Mm-hmm. And I thought from the minute you stepped in there that everyone else, would think the same thing. Because you just have that aura when you come down, the ass kicker. And the music, and which I love, by the way. I heard that music the first time. I was like, this is perfect. I don't know if you felt that way, but I thought it kicked out. Do you have a keytar?
You take like the samba and the bossa nova and you slow them down, and it sounds just like it.
If you put me on your keyboard, it would be the theme from Beverly Hills Cop. That's the only thing I know on the keyboard. But anyways, that's a story for another day.
Yeah, let's make it about you again.
Oh man. So, yeah, I mean, we were having those conversations just a few weeks ago, and that, yeah, I mean, as far as guys on the roster goes, like, you're a guy that can match Brock, like, for that realism, for something that could stand toe to toe with him, the intensity, the meanness, and did you do you feel like that he brings something more out of you when you're performing, or is it just something that on the stage that's what you've been waiting for, to kind of unleash this kind of part of the character? Now that we're seeing, it seems like you're more intense. It seems like you're more even bigger than you were before, so to speak. Your kind of aura to me.
Yeah, it's him. I don't think anybody who's kind of staring across the ring from him kind of feels the same way. I mean, he's. It's funny, like, he's definitely every bit of the super athlete that everybody says he is. So anytime you're in the ring with somebody like that, him, Kurt, AJ, other guys that I worked that aren't you, you get this mystique. Adam's loving this. No, but you've been in the ring with guys like that, and like me. And you get this vibe and the sense from them that, like, you really need to up your performance. You really need to do your thing. And if you don't, they're going to eat your lunch. And, that to me is, and that was kind of the same with Kobashi and guys like that, where it's just like their auras were so big and their ability was so big that, you knew you had to step up, and you knew you had to give that extra effort, and you knew you had to, show up ready to go, not kind of in, you're all the way in, and it's going to be rough, and it's going to be bad, and you're going to be in your limp away from it. And Brock definitely has that kind of aura about him, and it's those environments that I thrive and I like.
I think he likes to feel like he's challenged too. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And I think that he sees that in a guy like you. Like, it's believable that you could stand there with him and trade with him, and you could take him down, and you could choke him out, all the things we've seen him do, and you could be a threat to him. And I think he likes that.
He loves it. He loves it, and he thrives in that too. I mean, he's the type of guy that's going to push and push and push on you. He's not going to give an inch. And like I said, it's those environments that I've usually done my best in. And whenever I looked at having this match with Brock, that's the first thing that came to my mind, is that this guy's going to go out there and put it on the line, and I'm gonna be right there with him, pushing right back on him. So, I'm looking forward to it, man. I really, really am.
Yeah, this is one. I can't say that I watch everything live, just because, kids and life and all of that stuff. But this is one that I'm really excited to see. And I've, like I said, I've been talking about it on the show for a few weeks, and I still think it's a Mania main event. So, but there's always, here's the thing with a match like this. Vince sees it and goes, ooh, okay, or senses the feeling in that crowd or whatever it is. And the beautiful part about wrestling is that plans can always change. Because, I don't know how many times they've been changed on us or on me or on Jay. And, just to me personally, I think this is one that could really, really kind of light the fire into something completely new that they don't even know yet.
That's definitely the goal, without a shadow of a doubt, and I think you guys can attest to this too, is that anytime you're given an opportunity,
right,
especially here, you are to exploit it and do everything you can with it, and give it your all. So, these weeks leading up to this, it's been that, I realize this is a huge opportunity, and this is an opportunity to create something great and something memorable. And that's what I'm looking to do. Yeah,
I don't think guys get put in spots like this by accident. They see something, especially with a guy like Brock, who's he's an attraction. He's a special athlete. He's a once in a lifetime guy. I think everybody knows that. So for you to even be considered, it's a big thing. But yeah, and like I said, the stuff that I've watched, it's making me, like, I've known you for so long, it's making me even see you in a higher light, in a higher regard than I held you before, where almost in the sense even where, like, man, I didn't know that he could be at this level, you know what I mean? And I think that's awesome, and I think it's a testament, and keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, it's a huge opportunity, and I feel like that you've stepped up from the promos that I watched, the intensity, from the backstage thing the other day when you went looking for him and stuff like that, like the rage that you had in your eyes and your body language. I just believed everything that was happening, and I think that's what you need in this instance to really sell it to everybody.
And obviously, he's the type of guy that you're going to get into it with that. It's just there's no way around it.
If you look back historically too, sure, it's entertainment and all those things, but no one besides, I think, Taker has done a pull-up part with Brock Lesnar. So think of it in those terms, and I know you know this, but know that walking in, and just do your thing, man. Like, seriously, like they've already invested that. Just think of that. Taker's the only other guy to do that, I think, if my memory serves. So that already sets this, this table on a completely different level than a lot of the people that Brock has been working.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm appreciative of it, and I do have those realizations, and I know expectations are high, and anytime they are, I always look forward to exceeding them. So, yeah, it's funny. It's one of those occurrences now where it's just I can't wait for Sunday to come show up. Yeah. I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to get it on, and and get this thing going. So. It's heavy on my mind, I can't wait to get out there and
you can carry that chip when they told you you weren't what they were looking for. You take that with you,
You sons of.
And it also means that Sunday will be there, and Jay will be out of your chair, no longer running his nasty nappy toes through your Angora carpet.
I will still be at his house here watching on his giant television with. I don't know. I might even take my pants off and sit on this. And roll around.
Yeah, I have a Bosu ball chair. He keeps eyeing it up. Like, what is this magical contraption? It's an exercise ball in a chair.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna take your pants off and sit on that, huh, Jay?
Yeah. It's
gonna leave your residue all over that thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's change the subject.
Yeah, that seems like the note to end off on.
Yeah. Real strong, great visuals.
Joe, I'm sure you want him out of your house, and you probably want to go to bed since this is one of your free days. So, looking forward to Sunday, man. Knock him dead.
Right on. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you. Now you can go.
No, I can't.
No,
I love your carpet.
Just listen.
Oh, that couch! I didn't see it. I'm going to lay on that.
No, don't.
Just leave,
Jay. That's really, really expensive.
Just go.
And I don't have stain guard on it.
All right, so you made it out of Samoa, Jay. not Samoa J. I mean, you made it out of Samoa J.
Yes.
And how was your visit there? Did you get choked out while you played virtual reality video games?
You must have saw my tweet. He's like, hey, try these virtual reality goggles on. And look, it's me. And then choke the shit out of me.
Well, I didn't see your Twitter because I don't.
He blocked me.
Yeah, I blocked you. I muted you too. I did both just to make sure. But he sent me videos.
I made up a fake Twitter account and I troll you on Twitter.
Well, good. I don't troll you, so that just means you're infatuated with me. So he sent me videos of you wandering around in his media room with these goggles looking up in the air, and he was doing things.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
that's funny.
That were pretty funny. So that's
he's
how
like,
I knew.
And then I didn't even know he was videotaping me, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, he was taping you and sent it to me.
Dude, you got to do that virtual reality stuff. That was insane.
I don't like video games.
I don't like video games. I mean, you can play video games, but it's like the one that I went down. I was on this like sunken ship, and then I was just kind of exploring this sunken ship like underneath the water, and like this whale swims by, and like it looks like it is a full size whale. It's insane. Like
so. Really, here's what we do, Bird. Here's what we do. Quit living with goggles on your face. Let's go. Let's go deep sea diving and find a whale ourselves
and interview him for this podcast.
Exactly. See?
We'd have a whale of a time.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, this match on Sunday, it's going to be like Moby Dick.
Oh, my God. Oof.
Speaking of oof, we should have Tony Condello on this at some point.
Yeah, we should. That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
that
would.
Funny. Yeah.
I'm reading a book right now, Bird. You guess how many books? Hey, we had a little debate as to who reads more, and there's no question. You dodged the question, and because I'm on my 30th book this year, and the one I'm reading right now is Everybody Loves Our Town, an oral history of grunge.
Well, I took that as a challenge to catch up to you.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting my first book of the year. I realized I had Bruce Springsteen's book
that
I haven't read yet. So
it's a good read. It's a good read.
Started. So.
I think that was number 10 for me this year. I sound like I'm being pretentious by saying that, but I really do just love reading, and I decided to take up the challenge of a book a week. With 2 kids, it can be difficult, and, a job. It can be, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, I remember this one. Speaking of reading, I don't know why I just thought of this story, but Hurricane and I were riding together, and we usually rode with Lance, and for whatever reason, we were going overseas, and I don't know if he wasn't on the tour or something, but he wasn't in the car, and we were heading to the airport. It was a late night flight, and he's like, this is weird without Lance going. I said, yeah, it's a little strange. I wonder what he's doing. He goes, yeah, good old hacksaw book read.
I know.
And
Best.
And I was driving, and it took about 10 seconds for it to sink in. Hacksaw book read, and I lost it.
We gotta get Hurricane on the show, man.
I was crying. Tears were coming out my eyes, and we were swerving. It was in LA, so like I'm swerving all over like 410. I'm laughing, and it's like probably dangerous. Well, probably it was dangerous, but it was funny. It just reminded me of that story.
One of the funniest guys.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we gotta. Maybe he's listening. Yeah. Hurricane. Sugar Cane.
Call me.
Get on the show. Anyway. Well, I think that sums it all up, Bird. This is a long show, and
wrap her up.
I, for one, will be waiting with bated breath for the pay-per-view on Sunday. Great Balls of Fire. I can't even.
GBOF.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that. Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar.
I'm looking forward to seeing this match. Like you said, big fight feel. So we're going to see what happens, and hoping Joe and Brock tear it down.
Yeah, Bird. All right. In the meantime, and in between time, that's it. Another edition of ENC's Pod of Awesomeness. Here we go. Bye-bye now.